Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. I've got a lot more to get into as far as the Alexee situation goes, but I wanted to go over the latest court TV segment where Vinnie spoke again to Alexee's lawyer.
I'm Vinnie Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And it just seems in the past several weeks, we've had a series of stories that are very unusual and very confusing. And this hour will be no exception to that. One of the stories involves a young woman, she's 19 years old, goes to the hospital complaining of back pain. She goes there with her mom. She's in labor, delivers the child in the bathroom, leaves the child in the bathroom, in plastic, in the trash. She's now charged with murder. Take a listen here because police responded. Body cams are rolling, and you get to see some of the statements and reactions like in real time. Let's take a look.
We did a pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She was denying that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We came knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was blood everywhere. She was cleaning it up. She had taken it and put it in the regular trash, and there's still trash all around the baby. She put it right in the trash can. Then she twisted it and wrapped it underneath him, and then set the baby in the bottom. Then she put paper towels on top, and then two wadded up trash cans or liners. They were clean on top of that, and then she placed a brand new clean liner in the trash can like it was ready to take trash. When they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag. The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid. Cold and blue already. His temperature was like 95. No signs of life, no breathing, no respirations, no heartbeat, nothing, no movement whatsoever.
So to confirm, first off, the whole CPR thing, because there's been a lot of folks in the comments, and it's been debated over and over and over again. From what I understand from the head nurse and the staff, what he just stated, that's the head nurse, no CPR was conducted on baby Alex. That's because there was no signs of life. Sadly, baby Alex was purple and blue. It was horrific. They say that the bag was suctioned into the baby's mouth, which would indicate that he drew breath. So that being the case, she suffocated her child. She suffocated baby Alex.
So she's charged with murder. So a big part of the case will be the autopsy and toxicology results. Let's take a look. Cause of death: asphyxia, suffocation, strangulation, manner of death, homicide.
Okay, we had gone through this before. This is the findings again. It's tied in a plastic bag. That's where they found him. Baby Alex. Time of death was pronounced at 02:28, it looks like. And I know the cause of death is a homicide and suffocation because she put him in that plastic bag.
How the injury occurred: tied in a plastic bag. Then the important toxicology results: caffeine presumed positive, morphine free 19 nanograms per milliliter, phentermine 420 nanograms per milliliter. So,
okay, of note, morphine is given to women in labor. Okay, morphine is given to mothers in labor when they go into the hospital. So there is nothing wrong with the fact that the hospital gave Alexee morphine. Caffeine, well, I presume that is due to the diet pills Alexee was taking because she was trying to lose weight while she was freaking pregnant. Disgusting.
What exactly do these results mean for the defense? Joining me right now in Ruidoso, New Mexico, Alexee Trevizo's defense attorney. He's back with us tonight, Gary Mitchell. Gary, thanks so much for joining us again tonight.
Can I say this guy looks like he just came out of the Haunted Mansion ride at Walt Disney World. He is the whitest attorney I've ever seen. Or his lighting is incredibly awful. That said, he is actually a well-known attorney. He has gotten accused murderers off the hook. So he is no joke.
Autopsy results are out. Toxicology is out. What does it mean to you?
Well, it means that this child didn't die like everybody thinks, and the child wasn't killed by my client. That's what that.
I beg to differ, sir. Your client killed baby Alex. Alexee killed her baby, period. She gave birth to this baby in a hospital bathroom, and she put it inside of a plastic trash bag, tied the plastic trash bag, hid it underneath a couple other trash bags, and put another trash bag on top of that one. Like, remember the housekeeper was saying, there's a trash bag, and then they put more extra trash bags underneath. So she was able to pull the actual trash bag that was used in there, probably put the baby in that, tie that up, get a new liner, put that on top, and then put a whole bunch of paper towels on top to hide it. Remember what they were saying? The nurses were saying they kept hearing the toilet flushing, the paper towels coming, toilet flushing and paper towels. What she was doing, she was covering up a murder.
That means, and at the end of the day, we know that there's a major issue with the autopsy and the way they claim that this child died of suffocation. That's not correct. We also know that the hospital committed a major wrong in giving my client morphine for a lengthy period of time, well over an hour, almost an hour and a half. And we know that the baby had morphine in it as well, which suppressed breathing. So there are many, many issues. We also know this child had certain bacteria that they found at the autopsy, including E. coli, which can cause major problems for a baby or elderly people. We also know that she was positive for COVID and influenza A and B.
Do you not think that this baby got the E. coli from being in the bathroom, in the trash? She might have given birth to it in the toilet and taken it out of the toilet bowl, then put it in the trash. So no, not buying that at all, sir. I'm just not buying that. And as far as COVID, come on. Flu, come on. And then, of course, again, that morphine. Morphine is given to pregnant women in labor in the hospital. Totally normal.
So we had a very sick child. And we also know that from other forensic pathologists that the type of tests run by the lab, by the Office of the Medical Investigator in New Mexico, are not classically used. So we had major issues in that regard. And then we've learned that some of the things that the hospital has been saying are incorrect. She never, for example, she never told them that she was a virgin. She never told them that she didn't have sex. Things of that particular nature. So there's a lot.
I gotta say, I don't think he's as versed in some of these details as he believes he is. Again, like I said, he's very well known for being a defense attorney who's gotten alleged murderers off. However, she told these nurses and these doctors all sorts of things, And I don't think he has a clue because he's only hearing it from Alexee and her mother, Rosa. Yeah, he's believing mom and the daughter, period. He's believing the two people who have been lying from the get-go.
At what point, because we bring it back to the fact that she goes to the bathroom to deliver this child. At what point did the hospital know she was pregnant? At what point did she know she was pregnant?
They knew she was pregnant at 12:51, 51 minutes after midnight. They did not tell her. She did not know she was pregnant until she had the baby at 1:39, 1:40 in the bathroom.
Mr. Mitchell, Alexee knew she was pregnant. I am not buying this at all. Guarantee you, when we learn about the Google searches that Little Miss High School Senior did, there's going to be all sorts of searches about pregnancy, about how to, about giving birth, how to, what have you, maybe how to hide a pregnancy. The list could go on, and it could be really, really, really crazy, which we have seen that in many cases. So I don't buy it at all that Alexee didn't know she was pregnant until she went to the bathroom and said, oh my God, a baby just came out of me. Because if that's the truth, first of all, that's idiotic. And second of all, if it really was the truth, let's just say it was, she really had no idea and she thought she had gained weight from birth control pills, which again, not buying it. If something would have came out of her and she looked and she saw that it was a baby, wouldn't she be like, OMG, and pull that cord for help and yell for help? They came to the door multiple times, they knocked, and they said, hey, are you okay in there? Can we help? Oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm just having a hard time going to the bathroom. Never once did she ask for help.
That's when she first learned that she was giving birth. So the hospital knew for 46 minutes that she was pregnant. They didn't tell her. They let her go to the bathroom, and we know that a woman giving birth, particularly a teenager, may feel that they simply have to go to the bathroom. You use the same or similar muscles in that regard. We also know that they continue to give her not only morphine, but 5 other different drugs, 4 of which are contraindicated for birth for a fetus. So the hospital knew all of this. They didn't stop. And not only that, they unhooked her from the IV and allowed her to go to the bathroom, knowing that she was pregnant at the time. A cardinal sin in the emergency room.
So what is the status of the case right now? These results are relatively new. It wasn't known the last time we spoke, at least. So are there conversations going back and forth with prosecutors, or are we just on the track of this thing moving towards a trial?
We're on the track of this moving toward a trial. We're in the investigatory stage, at least I am. I'm getting my experts, giving them all the materials. Obviously, from my conversation with you that I've already talked to certain experts, and I have a lot of information about the case. Plus, the trial is not set until next year. We know that the trial date that was set in the fall is going to be moved. And I'm preparing motions regarding everything from changes of venue to the misuse of privileged materials to a motion to suppress certain statements and things of that particular nature.
And final question.
Basically, Mr. Mitchell's going to take everything he could possibly grab a hold of and throw it at the court, at the jury, the judge. Do everything he can to try to get this girl off. And like I said, he is a well-known defense attorney. I will go over that in a video shortly. this week, hopefully. So, as much as I personally don't like the guy, he's well respected for what he does, and he's gotten young people off that should not be out and free.
Question here tonight, Alexee, your client, she's not behind bars, right? She's released and being monitored. What's her status tonight, and how would you describe her state of mind right now?
Well, first of all, she's just graduated high school. She stays alone, with the exception of her parents, and she doesn't go out. She and other than visiting a sister or relatives that may come by, she doesn't see any friends. She has no physical contact with her boyfriend, the father of the child. She talks to me, and she's in some counseling as ordered by the court.
That's very good. She lives a lonely life, as she should. She's lucky that she's not sitting in jail until her trial. She is lucky. She is living right now with her father, so she's not in New Mexico. That said, he's claiming, she's all like, she lives like such a horrible life. Yeah, it's a horrible life. Yeah. I'll show you what's going to be horrible is when she gets put behind bars. And I really, truly believe that that's going to happen. I really do hope it's going to happen.
All right, Gary.
Other than that, there's a very stoic life.
Yeah. Gary Mitchell, representing Alexee Trevizo. We appreciate your time tonight, Gary, and hopefully we'll speak again soon.
We shall. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, folks, let's bring in our think tank. Joining us live in studio tonight, criminal defense attorney, entertainment attorney, former state attorney in Florida, and former assistant DA in Atlanta, Daryl Cohen. Also with us, criminal defense attorneys Marsha Mignon, and finally, criminal defense attorney, the man behind the glasses, Josh Schiffer. And the glasses, Marsha, did you guys set this up ahead of time?
We tried. It's a long time plan.
All right.
We're working on it.
They're going to do battle with you,
Trendsetters.
Yeah. All right. Daryl, the corner of my eye, I'm doing the interview here, corner of my eye, Daryl's making faces throughout this interview. What are your thoughts about this case?
Well, my first thoughts are, I don't think that infant was able to walk from the hospital room bed to the bathroom and jump into the trash can and surround itself with plastic and suffocate. I think her lawyer is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's doing a good job, but he doesn't have the evidence. He may be saying that they made mistakes. This woman sadly killed her child. Whether or not it's murder, as far as...
That's what she's charged with.
Well, she's charged with murder, and she actually killed her child, in my view, based on the evidence I see. But having said that, I think ultimately this will end up being a plea, her getting a lot of counseling and a lot of help, because it's an unusual murder. It's terrible, but it's unusual.
I completely agree with Daryl. She's a murderer. Period. I hope that she gets more than counseling and what have you. I think that there needs to be a precedent set that while I would like to see her get jail time, if nothing else, she deserves probation, community service, something, because obviously she believes she's above everyone else, and as her classmates have stated, she's a manipulator. Let's not let her continue to manipulate and grow up to be a grown-up manipulator. I mean, she's already a grown-up at 19, but let's, try to, see if we can instill something better in her, which obviously her mother has not done. That said, it's going to be up to the jury and the judge, and obviously as far as that's concerned, but Gary Mitchell, her attorney, he is doing his job. Like I said, he's actually a very great, well-known attorney for what he does. I just don't like him because he's defending someone horrific who killed a baby. She killed her child. And to me, there's just no excuse for that whatsoever. She killed her own child that she carried for 9 months.
Marsha?
I disagree. I think the hospital
See, everyone that sits in that seat usually disagrees with Daryl.
It's a given.
It's the
And
disagree
this
seat.
seat and that seat, all those seats. It's not
The
hard.
only reason I disagree is because I know that a lot of times it's difficult to understand how at such a young age she could not know that she's pregnant. It's happened to women even older than she is that say, I didn't even know I was pregnant until I got to the hospital. My concern is that the hospital, based on the information from her attorney, had all the knowledge prior to her, assuming arguendo that's true, that she was pregnant. And if that's the case, there's a whole lot of negligence to go around.
But that doesn't stop. A murder, negligence is one thing. Murder, the actual act of killing your child, is still a murder.
Well,
Negligence or not.
assuming the child wasn't killed by morphine, assuming the child wasn't killed by all the medications that they were pumping her with when she got to the hospital and said, I have back pain. And
That baby was not killed by morphine, honey. And I'm so glad that Daryl's arguing with her on this. That baby Alex was not killed because of morphine. He wasn't killed. He didn't suffocate because of COVID, because of the flu, or anything else. He suffocated because of his mother.
if you're pumping her with medication, knowing that she's pregnant, then there might have been a murder, but it was committed by the hospital.
And really,
wow.
yeah, I'm going to follow up on that because really, I've dealt with hospitals. I've been deeply involved with one and or more pregnancies.
You've been pregnant?
No, but I've contributed. One of the issues is you don't just go to the hospital and get some morphine. They check into you before they start pumping you up with the good stuff. You also don't really get treated as a woman without pregnancy tests coming out really quickly. It's one of the first things doctors do. So I'm really interested to hear about what the hospital did and clearly didn't do. But I agree with Daryl. There's some serious mental health issues involved with this. I find it very difficult to conceive not realizing you're pregnant. And then there's some untruths being shared.
Let's do this.
Here.
Let's watch together. Alexee, this again is on the body cam.
So you have 2 against 1. I'm a little unsure about why the female attorney, which I'm blanking on her name right now, is so pro Alexee. But she also is very pro Casey Anthony, so go figure.
This is her reaction in the moment. Now her mom's in there, the doctor's in there, and obviously officer with a body cam. Let's watch.
I'm sorry. It came out at me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this.
But it
I
was
just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
scared. It was not crying or nothing.
I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
Do you guys have, I'm the charge nurse here, do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months?
Nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
Nothing was crying.
It's difficult. Let me show you one more piece of evidence, okay? That may be used in this case. I don't know. This is from Yvonne the Plug on TikTok. This is a still frame from a video. That's her. She's still cheerleading. She's still cheerleading. That's her right in the middle. Many that we've had in the newsroom have said, yeah, that looks like a baby bump.
It kind of smacks. Are you kidding me with the pregnancy unknowing? And really, your body's your body. I find it difficult, even though I admit It's been reported before.
But we think she was on diet pills too.
Yeah, women have been able to be pregnant, and I've never been pregnant, but I'm sure that you can miss some things. But it's so hard to believe.
So you're going to take my word for it?
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. It's so hard to believe. You're missing something that happens pretty regularly for a number of months, and clearly that young lady is terrified of talking to her mom about this.
And then she runs to the bathroom and gives birth, and then, please. I mean, there's negligence, I agree, but there's mental health issues galore.
Well, if she's got mental health issues, then you've just taken away her intent in murder.
There you go.
No. Mental health issues does not mean you've taken away her intent. It just means she has mental health
Well,
issues.
now her defense would be
Well, I think the defense, it looks like it's leaning on that this was a stillborn child.
Mm-hmm.
Stillborn child. So that's a battle of the experts inside the courtroom.
Did I not hear she said the baby was crying?
No,
she
she
said that
Nothing
wasn't
was crying.
Oh.
Nothing was crying.
but it's the lying and the purposeful, willful blindness.
So how important is the issue of whether or not she knew she was pregnant?
Critical in a murder case,
Yeah.
because you have to have intent. You have specific intent crimes and general intent crimes. Fortunately for her, murder is a specific intent crime. So if she didn't intend to cause the death of the child, prosecutors better be looking at charging something else really quickly.
If there's evidence, like let's say hypothetically there's evidence that she had talked to friends about a name for the baby, that would be really bad for her.
It would be bad for her. However,
really bad.
You talking about the name for a baby doesn't mean
For
that when
the
you-
baby.
For the baby.
That
When you got
doesn't
to the
matter.
hospital.
What matters is she put the baby in the trash can. She put plastic around the baby. It doesn't take a brilliant detective to realize she committed a murder.
What if the baby was dead when she put it in the trash?
Then she attempted to commit the murder.
And that's the other thing, because they
They're
can get her
here
on something.
the whole hour.
They can get her on abusing a corpse. They can get her on everything.
That's what I just said.
Tell
All
you.
right.
The prosecutor needs to look at new charges.
I'm telling you that Attorney Darrell, he's my favorite of those three right there. He nailed it right there. Now, when the female attorney states that it's possible to know that you're not pregnant. Yeah, okay, I'll buy that. However, once she realized she was giving birth to a baby, I mean, what was she thinking after that? She could have asked for help, multiple opportunities. I mean, and then if you're going to go backwards, you've got that she never feel a kick. Did her boyfriend, did he never ask questions? And again, you got the pictures of her cheerleading. And for those that are saying that those could be birth control, weight gain, you could have weight gain on birth control, because I have been on birth control, but your weight gain is not carried like a pregnancy bump. It's usually a little more scattered, and it doesn't make you appear to be pregnant. So I do agree though, there's definitely mental illness happening here, but I also think that she, like her classmates have stated, she's a master manipulator, and I have to wonder if that comes from Mama Rosa. So does that kind of, come from her mama? Because to me, there's just no excuse for this at all. I mean, there's just too many people involved in her life, and too many obvious signs that she wouldn't have realized that she was pregnant. And again, I really hope that investigators have found Google searches about pregnancy and searching about all kinds of stuff surrounding delivering a child. I really, really do. Because that's going to really put the nail in the coffin for her. Because that's going to prove that she knew she was pregnant. All these lies coming out of her mouth will mean nothing when you've got Google searches, and I'm sure there's texts between her and her boyfriend. And speaking of Mr. Boyfriend, what is he thinking? He doesn't seem to be wanting to speak with law enforcement, last I heard. Why isn't he and his mom going after Alexee? She killed his child. So I you have to wonder what the hell he's thinking as well. Of course, he took her to prom. The two of them went to prom 12 weeks later. So, I guess there's no shame for these two at all, especially the one here on the screen. All right, that's all I've got for this one. Like I said, there's a lot more coming on Alexee. And we're going to dive more into some of the police interviews and what have you. But this one, I'll tell you, the more and more I see, the more and more it gets my blood boiling. It really, really does. She killed her baby. Baby Alex never stood a chance. He really, really didn't. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.